Buckle up for today's training. I know there is so much going on here. Ultimately, what I'm going to talk about today is literally everything that's on here, how this comes to me, and this is all literally for entertainment purposes, but it's me being natural, okay? So this is stemming from coming out of my comfort zone. And so I've always had issues with this concept of, everybody saying you need to get out of your comfort zone, whether that be coaches or programs that I've taken or just something like that. And for me, that is like a push. That's me pushing against intuition. That's me being impatient. That's me forcing something that is not ready for me yet. And so what's been fun is studying the gene key number 16 and the shadow of indifference. So indifference is staying in our comfort zone. But if we can step into becoming, just being natural, that is when we can, when our genius comes out and our gifts are able to shine. And gene key number 10 is all about natural. It's the gift of being natural and the essence, the city of being. Okay. And currently I can't really remember the shadow at this moment, which is not a bad thing. But working on gene key number 10 for me was one of the very first gene keys that I worked on, because being natural is a state of relaxation. And due to me knowing my hologenetic profile and some of my other keys, it's literally impossible for me to relax. Okay, so knowing these things, this is how it's super fun to work and play with the gene keys. So what am I going to talk about today? Me being natural. I'm going to be talking about walking the pathway of my purpose. That's what this is. That is what this is. Walking my pathway of purpose. And what does that even mean, entail, or look like? Well, it looks like, one, taking action. But what kind of action? Sharing this stuff. Sharing whatever comes to me and through me. And in order to manifest something in this material realm, it needs to be spoken, okay? So working on your own personal wounds, your own personal karma, untangling or unwinding the wounds within your DNA takes action. And not just any action, okay? It takes creativity. It takes consciousness. And the type of action that it really does take is what I have created with the Beauty Codeway methodology. And this type of action is quantum action. So most people, because they don't get in this depth of even walking a pathway of purpose, they just wake up in the morning and they just go through the motions of life. And when you wake up in the morning and you go through the motions of life, that is what indifference is living the pipe dream, meaning you are like, well, that person isn't doing anything. That person isn't doing anything. I may as well not do anything either. And so that's where the comfort zone is. And this is where my mantra of don't be lazy. Don't be lazy. Don't be lazy. Don't be lazy. Okay? Is coming from. And not all action is the same action. Not all action is a spiral. Indifference, action, you're still taking action, but you're going in circles and you're never learning the lessons because you're in your comfort zone. So yes, we got to get out of our comfort zone, but not through force, not through control, nothing like that, but in a natural state. And this is where the Beauty Codeway comes in, because this type of action is quantum action. And how do you create this type of action? Well, with our rewire rewire the brain, the body, the beliefs, and your perception of beauty. We want to rewire that whole system so you can be the walking, talking human technology that these humans have access to. We start with, okay, yes, we're going to take action, but what do we need to do to get to making sure that this action is going to be inspired action. It comes from within. It comes from the gifts. It comes from your highest self and out. And that we got it first. We get to create a vision, not just any vision, but a vision that's going to make us so enthusiastic. And this vision, and in order to have this energetic field of enthusiasm, takes an experience. And so in order to have an experience, you have to take action. Well, we want that experience to rewire your brain, your body, your beliefs, and your perception of beauty. And so that's what we do when we start with a vision. And so we start with a vision. I like to go in 4-week increments. Okay, so I start with a vision at week 1. We start feeling our vision and seeing it and hearing it and tasting it. And it's essential to make sure you download that vision into your body so you can have that enthusiasm to bust past through the indifference. And we do that through an experience, a specific experience that is going to embed the enthusiasm into your cellular system. Okay, so that's the Beauty Code way. We start with a vision, and then you go into week 2 and you start to focus on the becoming aware. Where have you not been awake? What is it that you maybe have been denying, you've swept under the rug, you didn't know how to deal with, you weren't emotionally ready to withstand things, physically ready, who knows, okay? So we just come with awareness. And this is what is essential about awareness, because where there is awareness, that is where God is. Where there is awareness, just want to see if I have anything up here that says it. Okay, where there is awareness, you have the capability to make intelligent choice. And this kind of intelligence is your human technology intelligence. And you become aware. In that moment of awareness, you are already starting to shift and change your DNA, because you are starting to see that free will moment. Will I do this, or will I not do this? Either one is a choice. Now, once we really step into the depth of our human technology and realize the power of the free will and just what that means as a human in these physical vessels, the type of power you actually have can create some overwhelm. You start to see where you are not. Sorry, I gotta adjust this. It's driving me crazy. Okay, so now we start to see, oh my God, I'm this far away from my vision. Oh my God, why have I been doing this to myself? And all of these things start to come up, and your emotions are going wild. Okay, so it's not that pretty. And that's why we have a vision, okay? But when we start to become aware of all the things we are not, and how far we are not, and all the things that we should have done and could have done, things like that, then we need the next step, which is connection, connecting to that inner essence, connecting to the inside, connecting to the divine within you, that voice of knowing, okay? And so that is where the challenges come in. That's the dirt. That is the beauty, okay? Is because now we brought awareness, and now we have turmoil and trauma and challenges and things like that. And believe me, you're ready for them. If you can see them, you can hear them, you can taste them, and you can feel them, you're ready to take them on. And we get to take them on through a divine connection with our highest self. And that's where the vision comes in. So we bring the vision through each week. Okay, so we have vision, awareness, connection, and then we can start to actually take action. And this is a different energetic action. This is going to, it's quantum. It's just the energy that you bring to your action when you have a vision and you're aware of where you've stopped yourself in the past or your beliefs. And you know that in those moments of disbelief or limiting beliefs or old beliefs, it's time to connect to your highest self or connect to your vision while you are taking action. Okay, so you're taking action and these things come up. Now this does take conscious choices based on goals. Okay, so we have outer game and inner game. And in order for us to start to see these things within ourselves, we have to be in a pursuit, in some sort of walking your pathway of purpose. And so when you have a goal and you're walking that pathway of purpose, you have vision and then awareness and then connection, and you're taking action from those from that standpoint. Okay, so what happens there is the breakthroughs. Okay, so just want to see. Okay, So what happens there is the breakthroughs. Now, what does this also, like the outer game action it's going to take as you start to stir up the stuff that is gifted to you that may look like trauma, whether it's karma or generational things, collective things, personal things. It just depends on what your goals are, what type of things are going to reveal themselves to you that are your gifts, but they look like challenges in your everyday life. And this is why we need self-love, because of the things that will stop us. The things that are going to stop us, we have to bring light to. So if we have toxins in our body, if we want to, if we think our hormones are out of balance, well, self-love is it's directly correlated with your hormones. Your attitude is directly correlated with your hormones. Specific words have specific connections to specific areas of the body, specific energy fields, as well as specific hormones, like specific hormones, okay? And so we have to find ways that are taking action, that are excreting these things out of our body. So yes, trauma comes up, yes, awareness comes up, things like that. Okay, your challenges. Now, what are you going to do with them? If you want to have breakthroughs, what occurs specifically when we are doing this type of work, when we're walking in the pathway of our purpose and we set out on a transformational process, when we have a breakthrough would be like that aha moment. Or a breakthrough usually looks like chaos, like, oh my God, how am I going to be able to handle all of these emotions? How am I going to be able to handle this pain in my body? These things are breakthroughs. Like, I'm stuck is actually a breakthrough if you have a process. And so when you know that you are on the verge of going beyond the breakthrough is when things are going to get really challenging. But in order to, and so as we are doing these things, we have a visceral physical reaction in every single cell of our body as we are having a breakthrough. So this is like stars exploding in each one of your cells. And this can be physically, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally exhausting, confusing, just going against the grain type of energy that you didn't really know you were getting into when you thought you were going to go through a breakthrough. You didn't know it could be so physical. Well, now you do know, because you're having stars exploding in each one of your cells. Like, boom. All right? So then we have to find a way to transmute our new beliefs. Okay, so in order to, I'm sharing with you through talking to manifest enthusiasm, but to break through my indifference and the inertia. Okay, so they are programming partners. They go hand in hand, those two shadows. And so as I break through, I will transmute into being more enthusiastic and less indifferent. I'm going to be behaving and walking in the way more of enthusiasm. And it takes enthusiasm to create mastery. So gene key number 16. We have indifference is the shadow, the gift is enthusiasm, and the siddhi, S-I-D-D-H-I, or your essence that comes out of you moving through the shadow by bringing the gift and your lights to this indifference, then you create what's called mastery, okay? So mastery is the siddhi. And so there's a whole physical process to go through to really actually have that breakthrough. Now, from there, we have layers upon layers upon layers of indifference. We have layers upon layers where we need to bring enthusiasm. We have layers upon layers where we are stuck, where we are forgetting, things like that. And so what does it look like for me to be walking the way through this? Okay, let's talk about this. Wake up in the morning, right? You know, have some tea. Most of the time I have it's a tea with Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, Isis, and Kuan Yin, okay? So I have a rose hibiscus tea for Mother Mary, another red flower tea for Mary Magdalene, and then a cranberry tea with Isis, and then Kuan Yin is the water. Okay, now these are important things in me, and I'm walking the way of those archetypes, okay, those ascended masters, putting them in my cells, putting them into my body physically through action. Okay, so my tea drinking action comes from a vision, an awareness, connection, and then it brings me to the action of drinking tea. Wow. Okay, so I wake up in the morning, drink my tea. I forget everything, usually. I have ambition to work out. I have ambition to do my Kundalini yoga. Most of the time, if I get into the state of like looking at my phone, doing social media, looking at X, things like that, I can go down the rabbit hole for quite a while. And now, there's nothing wrong with that, but it really puts me in a state of indifference. And so being able to become aware of that, observe it, and not need it to be something completely different, as much as I do want it to be something different, I just am aware of it. Okay, I'm aware of it. Now how can I remember to move my body so I can bring up this power, this Kundalini energy that it takes actual thought, consciousness, it takes power, it takes breath, it takes so much to get this Kundalini energy coming through me. And that is the human technology that we have access to. So once I do that, I remember, oh yeah, I'm in my human body, and this human body is here to feel. Am I feeling? Can I feel? Can I feel my skin? Can I feel? Because if you saw my other video, I'm unbecoming numb. So I don't do things that make me feel, because naturally I can just go into a state of just pure numbness, indifference. And so after a while, after I get like, oh my God, I can't handle any of this anymore, like the negativity or just people's opinions or anything like that, then I step into, oh yeah, okay, I gotta move my body, gotta get some Kundalini yoga in, listen to some of the gene keys, because they're completely different every single time I listen to them, and that's what makes them a living context, is the things you hear change as you change. So it's just a never-ending process. Like there isn't an end result that I'm seeking per se, right? It's the art of living well, and that is what it means to master enthusiasm. The art of living well. The art of living well. That's true prosperity. The art of living well. And so okay, then I have probably a shake of some sort, and then I'm on to another way to transmute something out of me, whether that's going to the sauna, to get light therapy, sweating things out, cleaning my house, taking baths. So then I set out on a journey every single day to transmute. And that takes self-love. It takes action, but not just any action, it's the right kind of action. And now I want to bring this back to DNA. Shifting the DNA, okay? And as last night, I'm gathering things. Nighttime's always really vibrant time for my imagination. I'm getting ready for bed, and I'm like, love to exchange DNA with my husband. And I'm thinking, oh my God, like when I stay on top of exchanging DNA with my husband, I'm such a better person, because he is one of the most amazing humans that I know. Like, I could only dream to be that kind, that loving, that enthusiastic about life and humans and people, and just working and providing for my family, things like that. So he's things that I am not. But when I have a connection, this also comes down to learning the depths of Gene Key number 16, is the co-creation with another human, and the power that can come from that. Now, when our DNA is intermingling, hanging out together, playing around, it's fascinating, because we have created two humans with both of our DNA. And that is where our relationship with each other is critical. Because the way our DNA is interacting with each other is the way our DNA is acting within our children. And so this is something that I have just obeyed over and over and over again. And now I'm able to recognize and put into words what it is that I've actually been doing with this obeying of like family, ascending the family. What are families supposed to look like? What are these choices? You know, definitely going against the status quo when it comes to family. But with that being said, this is for entertainment purposes only, and yeah, I have definitely gone long enough. Let me know if you have any questions, if you are ready to walk in the way of your purpose, and you're ready to have a breakthrough. That is something that I do provide with my breakthrough session, which at this moment in time is absolutely complimentary, because this is part of my purpose, is to bring to the world, to share that you have the power within you. You are the highest technology that there is out there. And actually, there are things using your energy and your technology because you don't know that you have access to, and it's draining you. Okay, I'm not going to go into that because that would be a rabbit hole that is not for entertainment purposes at all. You go crazy. Okay, but essentially, what are your gifts? Do you know your gifts? Do you know your purpose? Are you walking in the pathway of your purpose? And your purpose is not your occupation. Your purpose is not your career. And what we get to do with the breakthrough session is really find the depth of the why underneath the why. And that is where you find your purpose. And you do that through the Pathway to Purpose breakthrough session with me and the Beauty Code Way. All right, bye guys.